Hello, hello. Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Welcome. Hype indeed. On this, what is it for you guys? It'd be Sunday morning, right? See, it's Monday morning
Yes.
at like midnight for
Yeah.
me, which is technically Monday
Oh
morning.
my gosh.
So,
Well, thank you for staying up late for me.
oh, it's
I
it's
couldn't stay up that
it
late,
pales in
but
comparison to how late I stayed up, which was almost an all-nighter really for the 2v2 game that I
oh my
commentated
gosh.
for some friends yesterday. So
Yeah.
yeah, no, it was very interesting. On my night last night, I basically slept the daytime and then have
Oh my gosh.
gotten up and finished my audiobook, which we will get into definitely. I
Yes. Oh,
actually,
there you are. Sorry. I just looked over my phone and I could see your face and I was like,
hello,
"Yay."
it's me.
Yay.
So there's a slight delay, but yeah, no, that's me, and that's what it all looks like. So we're all happening. It's good stuff.
Yes.
So we've got Scott Sword and Terminator and Bird Girl for a few minutes in the chat so far. So welcome. Glad you could make it for however long, and I'm sure Bird Girl you can catch up on the VOD afterwards. So we'll jump into the game and get that set up. But first of all, big welcome to our guest this week, Ducks Usually Lie. So everybody, welcome Ducks. Oh, and Hen's here too. Hello, Hen. All right.
I am in fact not a duck. I am
Yes.
human.
Confirmed
Unfortunately,
not an
for
actual
all of us.
duck. Let's see if I can. Oh, you are a duck, in fact, on your icon, which I shouldn't have been surprised by. I want to be blue.
Yes.
I just do. So we're having a duck off.
Oh
Because
yeah,
I use a
you're
duck
just
as well. Yeah. All right, we're all set up.
Yeah. I know, that's my sister. She we're both green ducks, so one of us always has to change it.
Mm-hmm.
We play each other.
Yeah, I'm very committed to my duck, but I am perfectly willing to change colour to suit because I do like to be a
Yeah,
different
I
colour.
change to the blue.
Mm.
If I can't be green, I also go for blue.
If I'm not blue, I tend to go purple, which is weird because red is my favourite colour, but I think the red
Yeah,
in the game, it's just not quite my cup of tea as a red.
it's not your red. I get that.
Double ducking, indeed. Hello, Michael. Sorry, I had something I was going to say. I suppose you're looking at your starting hand if you wanted to sort that out first.
Yeah, sorry.
No, you're
I
fine.
was like, this is gonna be
We're chilling. Have a think
a
about
lot
it.
of mistakes this
It's all
game.
good. Just
No, I'm good.
catch
I
up on
think I
chat.
already know what I'm doing.
What have I missed? Scott Sword says, not much. We just started, so you're all good. I hope you're feeling better, Scott. It's been a little sicky Mickey. Hopefully on the mend with his, what I presume is a fluey thing.
Ugh.
That's no good. It's starting to come into the season for that here in Australia. It being
Oh, yeah.
the start
Oh,
of
we get
June.
hit so hard. I mean, that's the difference between having kids too, I think. Like, sick. I've had 4 stomach bugs this school year. 4. Like, that's like, Zofran is my best friend.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry that you were also sick.
That is one of the, in my opinion, many benefits of being child-free is that I don't have that contact with the childcare in
Yeah,
the
like the
school
constant germs. Yeah.
the germs.
Well, yes. Yeah.
But I'm
and
sure,
then, you know,
I'm sure there are many benefits to the other side too. It just wasn't for me.
yeah, there's definitely many positives, but yeah, you avoid all the sickness or a good part of it.
Yeah, I have a little 2-year-old nephew, just turned 2 this month, and he's a cutie, so I get my little dose.
Get to love
of
on
the cute,
him,
and then hand him back. It's good.
yeah.
Hen saying that the Asia Duo Red is good too. It's good over the normal, and I would agree with that. It's a nice red.
Oh, I missed the.
Oh, you didn't get to do
I guess I don't really follow along closely because it was posted on the Wingspan Digital one. It wasn't posted on the tournament one, right?
Right. You
I
missed
don't know.
the beta,
I don't
did you?
follow along.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I didn't get to do the beta, and
Oh, that's a shame.
I would have been curious to do it, but it's okay.
Oh, that's right.
I'll see it when it comes out.
Hopefully, it's not too far away now. Is the
I know.
is the plan.
I know, but then I'm a creature of habit, so it'll be psychologically hard for me when I have to give up just playing this version and then learn something new again.
It's a very different beast again, since we had the big change in Oceania, so it's going to be a lot of learning curves all happening at the same time when that drops. So, yes, will be interesting.
And we don't have that expansion at home either. Like I've never played it, so.
I didn't have a lot of experience with it either, so I really dug into the beta hard and did a lot of things, for science. It was getting right into testing out the birds, and did a lot of streaming over that weekend of the beta, which is actually what kind of inspired the idea of doing this little content show. So
talking to other people about it.
I just having saying we've got some co-op coming. Seeing my hand here, and I was paying attention to the tray, but then you picked stuff out of it, and now my goldfish memory is it's gone. But I'm sure we'll discover.
No, it's okay. I haven't actually looked at your hand a single time, even though I have your stream on. I just looked at
you're welcome
your face.
It's all good. Not sure I'm sold on this red-winged parrot, but we'll see. Good stuff. So as a little bit of an introduction to yourself, Ducks, did you want to give us the username or origin story to start off with? Because I know there must be a story there, because you mentioned it.
There is, and I'll do my best to recall it, but it's actually from a book. There's a book by Daniel Pinkwater, which some of you may know the author, but I've probably never heard of this book, but it's called Ducks. And when we were little, we used to love to check it out from the library. It's a very weird book. And in the book, I'm trying to think the best way to summarize it. I have a written explanation that I'm happy to share with anybody if they're curious about it. But in the book, essentially, a duck takes the little boy to the sky at some point and then tells the little boy that ducks are angels. And the little boy says, "Does that mean I'm dead?" And he says, "Yeah." But the little boy's parents had already told him that ducks usually lie. And he's like, "But I don't look like a duck. If you guys are angels, I don't look like a duck, so I'm not an angel too, so I must not be dead. And I don't think I'm dead." And the duck's like, "No, you're definitely dead." And he's like, "I heard that ducks usually lie." And and the duck says, "I heard parents usually lie." And that's their interaction. It's a very strange book.
Yeah, interesting. I just
and I have I saved a written description of it that I could happily share with anybody that's more thorough, but it's so strange, and I should have actually brought it down so I could lift it up on the video.
No, that's okay.
Didn't.
I've actually just Googled it while you were talking, and it does seem like a thing, with a capital T.
Yes.
So perhaps I can pop that in the stream description.
Yeah. It got pulled. They stopped printing it, and it got pulled from a bunch of libraries. And so I bought myself a copy at one point, and then I gave, because my mom and my sister and I would all read it when I was little, I bought them copies as well. And so they're all they all have stamps that say rejected and stuff, and whatever the library information, they're all former library books. The book got pulled at some point, probably because it tells you parents usually lie, and among other things, some questionable things about death and ducks, and I don't know, it's weird. And if you've ever read any Daniel Pinkwater book, they're all very strange. There's one I haven't read it yet, but I just bought Hoboken Chicken to read with one of my kids, and that's a popular one too. But I think the chicken is giant. On the cover, he's shooting lasers out of his eyes, so I'm sure it'll be weird as all get out.
Yeah, cool. I've just added that to the stream description if anyone wants to look up that book. I definitely will look that up and look into it after the stream, because that sounds really fascinating from a...
Yeah, it's really funny. I don't know. I have a weird sense of humor, so that sort of thing appeals to me.
Yeah, it actually kind of reminds me of, there's a quote because Terry Pratchett is one of my favourite authors. Have you read anything by Terry Pratchett?
I don't think so.
He's a British author who sort of worked. He's passed. Rest in peace. He worked in the kind of comic fantasy, as in humorous fantasy kind of a space. But he was a real humanist. Like, there's a real thread of like social justice and inclusivity, and that runs through his work. And one of his books, actually, Night Watch, was recently made into a Penguin classic, which it's my favourite book of his. So he's finally sort of being recognised for the kind of genius that he was as an author, when for a lot of his career his stuff was dismissed as being trashy. And yeah, I'm really proud of that he's sort
But why?
Now,
because
it's almost like
I'm so curious about that.
Yeah.
Because it like appeals to the masses. Is that why it was trashy?
Exactly.
Because
kind of
that's the thing. Like, I have strong opinions about that.
Yeah.
Like, I think that being like a New York Times bestseller is its own kind of like brilliance. Okay, like being able to write books, like somebody like Emily Henry, who's very popular. You know, she's always on like Reese Witherspoon book clubs and stuff like that. But like, that's a skill, like to sell. And I worked for an author when I was in college too, who's same thing. He writes mysteries and is like a New York Times bestseller. But that's a sort of brilliance. Like, it's just not the same as somebody who might win a Pulitzer. Okay.
Yeah,
like,
and it's absolutely,
it's a different kind of smart, right?
Yeah, and it's definitely the kind of thing that I will fight tooth and nail for. It's like people who feel ashamed of reading romance novels. Like, it's the same thing. Like, it's looking down on forms of entertainment that people see as being lowbrow, I suppose. And I can be guilty of that myself. I'm not a fan of certain kinds of reality TV, and I'll sort of go, well, you know, that's trashy and that's trash. But I probably have to catch myself and say, well, actually, I'm doing the same thing, but with TV in that sort of respect. So we can all be guilty of it.
Yes.
But
oh, definitely.
Yeah, it's definitely a whole conversation. But anyway, back to Terry Pratchett in particular. One of his books is called Hogfather, and there's a nanny character in it called Susan, and she talks about lies, and there's a couple of really good quotes. I might have to post them afterwards. That some lies are permissible, and that there are like lies to children, and lies to patients, and lies to teachers, and there are sort of those little white lies that kind of make the world work in terms of in terms of just the social contract and sort of. Yeah, it's a really interesting subject, actually, lies. So I would be keen to dig into that book. But,
I would be interested in it. I like anything like that. Yeah, you know, like
I'll find those quotes. Yeah,
bigger picture. Yeah.
Any Terry Pratchett fans in the chat, by the way? Had anybody heard of that Daniel? What was his name? I just had it up. The
Daniel
Pinkwater.
I would describe Daniel like, if I found out that Daniel Pinkwater took like a lot of psychedelic drugs, I would not be surprised. Okay, it's not the same kind of humor that Pratchett sounds like very intelligent.
Maybe like a modern Lewis Carroll.
And not to say that Daniel Pinkwater is not intelligent, but I mean, it's just like wild stuff. But you know, kids imagine the world like that, so
that's really cool. The best children's stuff is on that kind of wacky side of things. So
I mean, yes, like being very familiar with like modern children's books, you know, the story of like Dogman is super weird and kids love it. Like whoever the author is, I don't know his name, but he's obviously doing quite well, so
yeah, cool. Very good. Very good. And if you wanted to tell us a little about yourself in general, I know that you're a lawyer. You've got a family with some young kids, I think you said. And just generally you like to be outdoors, I think, was the main thing I got from our kind of pre-stream chat, which is a little bit chalk and cheese to me, who's a very indoor cat.
It's okay. Yeah, like my husband's he's like a house cat, but I am like an outside person, as I'm sitting outside right now. But also this is convenient because my family is inside.
Nice.
But I'm a lawyer. I only work part-time and I do have small children, and I do spend a lot of my free time outside when I'm not with the kids or working. And I'm a litigator, so I go to court a lot. I am thinking about Wingspan for a second.
No, you're fine. I've put you on the spot.
And then no, I'm definitely outdoorsy. Like, I love to run and walk and hike, and I'm outside at least once a day, weather permitting, and I rock climb, although I do that inside. Oh, another lawyer. I know. So there's actually like tons of lawyers on the server. It keeps coming out.
Yeah, because Michael's a lawyer.
Yes,
well.
I absolutely agree. It attracts lawyers. Like, there are several who are not here right now, but then also several that, you know, it's been revealed are also lawyers. I do think it attracts lawyers.
Something about it, and I ride or die will. I don't know if that's the right thing to say. The late hours getting to me, but it definitely attracts millennials, I reckon. Something about this game and this particular age group.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I'm kind of...
Are you a millennial?
Yeah, I'm 37, so I'm kind of smack dab in the middle. And it's at the point where I kind of assume that a lot of people on the server are just around my age. And so when they're not, when I discover that on occasion, I have to do a double take because I just assume everyone's about my age. So I don't know if that's everyone else's experience, but yeah. Interesting.
I think that I do that all the time. Like, after a certain age, I think I just kind of, like, it's so hard to tell if somebody's like 28 or 38, especially in 2025.
Yeah.
Even in person. You know, people are like...
We're all very moisturized and...
Yeah, exactly.
Youthful.
Like, it's so hard to tell now. And then sometimes it's offensive if it goes, like, the other way around. Like, all parents are old parents these days, for the most part, is my experience. Like, my husband worried that we would be the oldest parents. We are definitely not the oldest parents. And but then every once in a while you'll meet a parent who's like 27 or something, and I've just automatically assumed she's like 35 because everybody's 35
so much the norm these days to have kids in your 30s rather than your 20s, even your late 20s. But yeah, my parents were high school sweethearts, so they had my brother and me in their very early 20s, and so I've always had young parents. My parents have only just turned 60 in the last few years, and
oh my goodness,
it's just so different now. Like, the friends that I have who've had kids have only just had kids. Like, they've all got very small, like, baby children at the moment.
Baby children.
Yes,
no, it's
the
funny.
Baby children. That is a truth fact.
The baby children.
But
I've got to do a little mathing really quick. I think I'm making a mistake. I can't tell.
No, you're fine.
I'm too busy talking.
Well, we've both Hen
which
pointed
is
out we got a teal pab showdown as well as a duck showdown going on.
So I've got to like not F it up here.
We got to not screw this up and make ourselves look silly.
I have one more turn, right? Then the turn I'm taking. Let's see.
I have 2 turns
left,
do. So you will have this turn and one more.
We're good.
We're good. Oh dear, I hard relate to that. Don't worry.
No, but it's so funny. There's somebody who, I don't know if they're new to the server. I just hadn't noticed them before, but their username has like the 90 in it, and I was like, this person, that's like their birth year. That's
Probably,
their birth year. And I am like, or it wasn't 90. It's like 99. I can't remember now. But because it wasn't, that 90 is not that shocking, okay, for millennials. But it was like 99 something. And I just thought, wow, that person's like so much younger than me, you know? But yeah, no, I do agree. It tends to, I was surprised how many of us are, you know, especially in some of the groups, like how much, I almost made a mistake again. How similar in age we are is all I'm trying to say.
Yeah. I mean, there are exceptions, but yeah, I get the sense that...
yes, absolutely.
And I've said it before, but something about this game as well tends to attract a really kind of wholesome, lovely subset of people, and I'm endlessly grateful for that and the connections that I've made on the server. So
yes.
Yeah. No, good stuff. I just wanted to quickly, not to put it down on anything, introduce a little bit of a stream rule, and perhaps it might be good if we don't talk about particularly server people or just people in general who aren't in here with us. So that just might be a good rule of thumb, to, like, no shame on anybody. This is just something I wanted to mention. Just might be nice to only talk about people who are in the chat. I might break that rule on occasion by accident, so forgive me on that. But yeah, that's just something I wanted to say, and sort of moving on along. So yeah, might be a good way to go. But,
yeah, and I should say, like, no judgment on somebody for being young. It was just a moment where I felt old.
Yeah, no, I again,
clear,
hard relate to that.
I realized, I was, realized my own mortality in that moment.
No dramas. No, it wasn't pointing at anybody in particular.
Yeah.
It's just something I wanted to say in general, regardless of what we were going to talk about tonight. So, all good. Okay, what am I doing with my last turn? I need to take some food so that I can play a bird. But which bird do I want to play is the question. What's going on for the... Ooh, what bird are you going to play? And you've got 4 nectar, so I'm sensing a double play. Or maybe a stubble quail. Ooh, that does feel very stubble quaily. So... Which way does a stubble quail point? Anybody? Chat? Need some coaching. No, it's fine.
I think it posts... No, I'm happy to tell you.
No, it's fine.
I think it points this way, like left.
Okay.
I think it points the other way. I could be wrong. I could be right. I don't know.
I love it. It's fine.
Try and leave it mysterious. Well, I can fully see your board. It feels
I'll find
like
out in a minute.
little unfair. Although I actually have not looked at your board very much, besides just clicking like on the screen.
No, you're good. It's open hand, so you're welcome to look at what I got, or look at my board, or whatever you want to do. What's going on with chat? Oh, Deb, you're all good. No dramas.
I know, it is a high skill.
Is a high skill. Thank you. And watch as we stuff it up.
Thank you. Yeah. Although, yeah, there's definitely been some very close calls where
it's a double play. Okay.
didn't have enough.
That was what you pulled out of the tray. I remember now.
Yeah, I think those two were. I had another bird I could have played, but only time will tell if I made the right choice.
Oh, and she sniped the end of round. Oh, cutthroat. Okay, it didn't matter anyway.
I know, it's only that first one.
Alright, well, if it doesn't matter anyway, maybe I'll play this one.
Although I guess there's 2 ways people think of it, because my brain is always like, well, it was only 1 point. But then you also have the, like, if you win 2 end of round goals and I win 2 end of round goals, then, like, our points different from our end of round goals is the same, is it not? I don't know. This is
I believe
my husband
that's
also.
right. Yeah.
He's like, it's the same spread. Like, it doesn't matter which ones you win or which ones you don't.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that is something that I feel like I know, but I often forget until the points start counting up at the end and I go, oh no, we're okay. It's all good. The last 2 just feel like they're worth so many more points, which isn't necessarily the case. Hopefully these cards the canvas back is giving you are all trash. I'll put that out into the universe.
Oh, you just like willed it to give me good cards.
Oh no.
By saying that.
What do you mean you've got lucky?
There are things unfolding with my children behind me right now.
Oh, if you need to pause at any time, you absolutely can.
All right.
All good. I can keep the chat entertained. I'll make faces at them or start singing or something. No dramas. What do I want to play? I've got options, but they're not sort of screaming at me. That one probably. No drummers. Did Deb predict the grackle? Yes, there was some grackle talk up there. So name the bird and the bird will appear. By the way, the tagline, this came up during conversation sort of this time yesterday. I just casually, just talking along, blabbing along as I do, said something, oh bless his little cotton socks. And a couple of US friends I was talking to went, hang on, what? What did you just say? Repeat that, Jenna? And I was like, don't you say that. It's not something that I thought of as being a particularly Australian saying. And it's not necessarily, not compared to, we're not here to fornicate with spiders, as somebody else said last night. But it's much more of a UK and Australian thing, and perhaps not often said in the US. And it's a term of endearment, like, oh cutie, like, bless you. Yeah. Sort of a thing. So I wanted to share that with the people.
Well, I think...
Oh, Scott's sort of saying, parents, yeah. And older British people say it. So, okay, I'll put my grandma hat on and claim that one. There are things unfolding. Yeah. That was good. I know. For parents, we watch a lot of Bluey. So I have heard, like, so some Australian terms are not right. Yeah. Outside of and then Canadians who are not that far away from us say a lot of similar sayings. Not a lot, but at least there's some crossover with like British or Australian sayings too. Yeah, I agree. Like maybe you call the trunk of your car a boot or whatever. Yes, we do.
And then I'm sure I could think of more. There's some, like, what do you call taking, if you have to take a test at school, what do you call that?
No, we call that a test.
That's different.
Yeah.
You wouldn't call it city or is an exam?
Only if it was like a serious one, like at the end of the year, you might call an exam, or like year 12, which is your
So that's
finals,
the same as us.
The US would say. So we call our finals exams.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I love Bluey too.
Yeah, Bluey's a big thing. And did you see the pictures that I posted of my little nephew's party?
It makes me cry.
My nephew had a two...
They have a Bluey themed party.
Yeah. I'll have to reshare those pictures because it was very delightful, and my sister-in-law did an amazing job. She made the most amazing cake and laid everything out and made these like Bluey cutouts for the table, and it was very cool. And yeah, no, she's superhuman in my eyes, my sister-in-law Beck.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's one episode my kids make me watch it. I think because it makes me cry. I don't know. That sounds terrible, like that they want me to cry. But I think it's like they love that it moves me so much.
Yeah.
Or so that's what I tell myself, at least.
Oh.
But there's this episode called Dragon, and it's so good. Well, actually, okay, the best episode, if you are not a parent and you're like, I want to see what Bluey's all about, watch the episode Fruit Bat. It's good, it's weird, and it's like one long dream. They're having a weird dream. One of the kids is having a weird dream. But, like, at one point, they're a fruit bat, and they're flying through the night as part of the dream. I can't give it justice, but it's really good. Like, it's really written for all people, not just children people.
Yeah,
so,
I have heard that. I heard that quite early on before it kind of made it big internationally. My friends in Brisbane, and Bluey's made in Brisbane, so a real local thing. They sort of got me onto it and said, this is something. I don't really watch it because, I mean, not that it can't be for adults, but I don't have any children around to kind of get that a bit more in my orbit. But that it is so enjoyable to adults on a different level, or even the same level as the kids. So they've really cottoned. They've really found the magic formula there, I think, and well deserved for it to be so popular. For sure.
I'll say too, like, the episode I mentioned, Fruit Bat, gives the same vibe as the book Ducks. Like, it's just a weird episode, but weird funny, good, like, uplifting, not weird bad. You know, I guess weird could go either way. Could be positive or negative connotation.
We're getting the sense that you're into
the good, happy way. Yeah, the weird, good stuff.
Oh, she
the
drops
happy
the
weird.
raven. All right, here we go. No worries. Well, if I were to retaliate, I could drop my own bird.
Do you have an egg bird that like gives you eggs every time?
I wish.
Well, I see, but then I don't know about using that because I'm doing the Moltinis. Like, I'm not going to lay that many eggs.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just convenient.
But I
And
think I could use
right
some
now
more
the
cards.
European robin takes more food.
Indeed.
So that's where I was trying to decide what to do.
Yeah, the robin's a nice one to have in your forest when you're only going to activate it once or twice around, for sure. Very good, very good. We're having a proper teal off.
Yeah.
I'm not actually sure.
Oh, what character do I most identify with? On Bluey? Well, I mean, I guess probably the mom. I know that's so stereotypical, but I love the dad on that episode. He's like really good at playing imagination with the kids, and I love my kids. And I try to be like a bit of a Disney princess mom and like be fun and do lots of activities with them and lots of educational fun stuff. But I am not good at playing imagination. So unfortunately, I don't think I can identify with the dad.
Aw.
Unfortunately. But he's a really cool parent, and what a memorable childhood those little dogs are having.
Yes, no, it's a good show, and the animation is so sweet. It's a good time all around, for sure. And the music as well. It's very, it's just, the whole thing is just joyful, and I love that.
Yeah. And I should say, if I had to pick a kid, I'm definitely more of a Bluey. I'm not I said her name wrong. The little one.
Bingo?
Whose name Bingo. I'm not Bingo. But my kids are Bluey and Bingo, 100%. My little one's like kind of a meatball person.
Oh, I was going to ask this because I was
and my older
one's
like very cautious and clever, and I don't know. I love chili too.
What do I want to play? I don't even know. I'm not really pulling the stuff that I want to be pulling, which is frustrating. Which is one of the reasons why I played the Franklin's Girl, just to dig a little bit harder.
Yeah.
Let's play the pink cockatoo, I think. I was going to ask, because Deb and I were talking kind of nursery rhyme, like cutesy little songs last week, and saying bingo reminds me of, do you have the song in the US, there was a farmer had a dog and bingo was his name? Yeah, I wanted to check that one because I don't know anything now. Like this bless my little cotton socks thing is just like blows my mind that not everybody says that, and so I have no trust in anything that I say or know that it isn't just uniquely Australian, and I just want to find out all the time. Do you know that song? Do you know this? Do you know that? Do you say this?
Yeah. I know. I mean, I'm American, so I don't really think like that, to be honest. No, that's so terrible. That's like, we had a question of the day once that was like, what's something American you do? So there you go. There's something American I do. I don't really think about the way my expressions sound to other people in the world. I'm sure they just think I sound like somebody that, I don't know, eats a lot of McDonald's and drives a too big car or something. Whatever stereotypes you can fill in.
Good stuff. Yeah, nice. My brain tonight is just everywhere. I had something I wanted to say and it's gone. What was I gonna say? No, it's gone. I was gonna ask about pets. Yeah, no.
I'm sorry. Wait. Hen has asked about a meatball person. Okay, I mean this in a loving, like an endearing way. I don't know how this started, besides that he's just kind of like he's so physical. And so everything he does, he's always like muscling his way around. And then, I don't know, he's so cute. He's so stinking cute. And he just asks like a million questions, and he's very bossy. Like my oldest one and I are reading Harry Potter at this point. And yet my oldest was like, Dudley kind of reminds me of my brother. I was like, I could see it, like, in a loving, good way, but, like, he's just so bossy and, like, physical. And somehow we started calling him, like, a meatball, but in a good way. Like, we love our little meatball. I don't know what a meatball person is. Okay, I don't know. I think it's in the way, like, if you're a parent, like, you call your kids all kinds of weird things all the time, but in, like, an endearing, loving way.
Yeah.
One would hope.
And I mean, Beans, my cat, my ginger cat Apollo, is dumb as a box of rocks, and we call him Meathead. So he's a meathead person.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I know. Like, I don't mean to say that my little one is stupid, but he does ask a lot of questions, or he'll, like, repeat things. Like, the other day, he finally just figured out these rules I've been telling him.
I didn't mean to
like,
call
in my shower. No, it's okay. But no, Meathead is also, like, a good alternative. Like, he's really physical. He's not very, like, cerebral or whatever. And I don't mean that he's not smart. I think he could be really smart. He's also 3, so it's kind of hard to tell.
Sure. Bye, Michael, by the way. Take care.
And the world needs all kinds of people, so it's okay either way.
Absolutely.
But,
no, for sure.
I forgot what I was saying. Oh, I put in the shower. They take they use our shower. So I put, like, one side of stuff is, like, my hair products, and that's called the no zone. He's not supposed to touch anything in the no zone, because he was using, like, nice shampoo to do science experiments or whatever. And so I told him to, that's the no zone. So then the other day I hear him and he's like, in this little voice, like, that's the no zone. That's the yes zone. Like, because they're allowed to use the shampoo and soap in the yes zone.
Yeah, that's cute.
So that sort of stuff. But it took me telling him that, like, 5 times. And he would question it all the time, which I'm so glad he's, like, he's questioning authority.
Sure.
I don't know. That sounds weird to be like, I'm so glad he's questioning
little
authority.
punk.
But I am, like, yeah. Like, I don't want them just to blindly follow what I say.
You don't want to raise a bunch of yes men.
Super obedient. Yeah, but I also, like, need them to not waste my shampoo.
Yes.
So
hence very amused by the fact that it was
so
for
that's
science
I don't know. This is a very roundabout way about, like, what a meatball person is, but that's what a meatball person is.
Back on the little songs thing, do you have pets? What sort of pets do you have?
Yes, I do have pets. I have we have 2 dogs and a cat.
Cute.
So, and I'm always trying to get more pets, so we'll see. We might get a bunny. I've had a lot of rabbits in my life, like house rabbits, so thinking of doing that. But I have a Pomeranian, and we have a Greater Swiss Mountain Dog, but she's pretty old, so I don't think she's gonna be with us a whole lot longer. Yeah. And then we sort of briefly discuss, like, what happens after. We're thinking I guess my husband bought the Greater Swiss Mountain Dog, but all my pets have always been adopted. So I've never, like, had a pet from, like, puppy or kittenhood. Right. And so I was like, if ever I'm gonna do it, right now is, like, a good time to have a puppy from puppyhood, a dog from puppyhood. So, but then you have to decide what kind of dog, and that's a whole big compromising event, and then you have to connect with a breeder. Yeah, I don't know. So
it's a whole thing, getting a puppy for sure. Yeah, I wish I had the energy for a dog. I really do, but it's cats all the way for me, I think.
Yes. So I love my cat. This is the first cat I have owned as a grown-up. We just got one, like, a couple months ago. We got her from the Humane Society. And she's amazing. She's like a half Siamese mix. I don't know. I put a lot of thought into this, much like my personality type. Like, we met a ton of different cats. It had to be the right cat. And I would only adopt from somewhere that does the little thing where you can go into the room with the cat. Yeah, like, some of the places want you just to look at the cat and read a description and be like, okay.
Yeah, and we'll kind of get acquainted properly. Yeah, no, you definitely want the other kind that really thinks about what type of cat it is. In terms of temperament.
Yes. Yeah, and this one, she was Sorry, just a second.
No, you're fine. What's her name, by the way?
So she was surrendered. We named her Lucy. Our kids
cute.
named her. We were gonna call her Luna because she's kind of like gray. We all put names in and voted on it.
Yeah, that's.
But
cute.
then ultimately, one of my kids wanted to call her Lucy, so that's what we call her.
Mm-hmm.
But no. So and at the Humane Society too, if you live in America and you're thinking of adopting a pet, like they let you take the pet home.
Little try before you buy. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, which I think is so important. Like, you just want to not have to, you don't want to end up in a situation where you have a pet that doesn't fit very well in your home. Like, that's not good for anyone, including the pet. So.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know what I'm going to do.
Once you do make that commitment, you know, it is for life. You know, some exceptions.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's a commitment that you're making to the animal. So I feel pretty strongly on that. As people know, I was supposed to be at UKGE this weekend, but I had to cancel my Europe trip for my old cat, who's not with me currently, which is very rude. He's probably on the electric blanket that I got for him recently. But yeah, he's a bit like your old dog. He's unfortunately not going to be with us too much longer. At the end. Yeah. But I love him.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it's hard.
I know, and cats you have so long too.
Yeah,
like, especially if you had them for your life, they can live really long.
Around Halloween
makes
sort
it
of
harder.
time, he'll be 17, so he's right up there. He's very old.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, thank you. But yeah, somebody was saying, I was about to break my own rule. Somebody was saying that they were at UKGE, and I was like, I'm so jealous. So wanted to be there, but that's okay.
Yeah. Okay, wait. To answer Hen's question, yes, like one of the groups had their cats in like a Petco or a PetSmart or something, and we went to look at one, and they wouldn't let her out. And the application process also required an interview where they came to our house, which was insanely uncomfortable. Like, just because you don't know the person at all, we never met her beforehand. She could have been a murderer, okay?
Yeah.
You know, like, you don't know. And honestly, she kind of smelled of alcohol when she got there, which, like, maybe she was out for drinks with her friends. Like, there are plenty of plausible reasons where that's not, you know, but it was like an uncomfortable thing, walking her around my house, not knowing this person at all. And like, when I've had to show my house for pet adoptions before, it's a video. They have you just make a video of your whole house, like walking through your house. I've never had somebody come to my house. And then of course, my 3-year-old is ready to go to dinner, which was the next thing we were doing, and has an absolute like insane meltdown. So needless to say, the whole thing was just like not ideal. And we never got to meet the cat too, on top of it.
That sounds like a whole thing. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it was not pleasant. So the Humane Society, we had a great experience.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, we've got our own thing here in South Australia. It's called the Animal Welfare League, and
yeah,
definitely whenever they stick their hand out for a donation, I go, yeah, okay, and I pull out the credit card because you know it's such a good cause, and
yeah, entirely
like volunteer run, which is kind of amazing when you think about it. I have to draw cards. That's what I have to do because
I know I don't really have anything good to play right now.
Okay.
When I do my end of round.
All right. Well, do I give you 2 cards? Do I give you 1 card? Do I give you no cards? I don't know. I think I'll give you 1.
With all this food and food sharing, like, it's super disappointing that neither of us have a bird that can
mass tuck,
like a starling or something. Yeah. I don't even know what you call that ability, but yes.
Food tuckers, teal food tuckers, I generally call them.
Okay, well there you go. There's an appropriate name.
Might not be the official term, but it's what I do. Yeah. Hey Giraffe, how you going? Lurking is very very valid. Welcome. Let's decide what I was going to play, which might have changed. What are you doing over there? Winning the end around. Okay. That's fine. I don't care. What's my... Yeah, okay. Let's do that. What's going on? Doing your assignments for the end of the semester. Oh. How responsible of you there, Giraffe. Frigate. Deb calls them hungry teals. That's very cute. I might steal that.
Hungry teals. I love that. I don't know what else to call that ability.
Scott's sort of always seeing the potential for swearing. I appreciate that. Hungry teals is hilarious. I love that. Good stuff. Yeah, I'm not convinced that I'm doing enough here. You have a nice setup. That's okay.
Yeah, but I still have to get some more cards to finish the game.
I'm gonna hoover up this nectar while it's there. Yes, please. Alright. That's the food I'm gonna have, and I'll figure it out. So I gotta play 3 birds. Choices.
Okay, I think I have some stuff I can work with for the end. It's like Rainbow Lorikeet right there probably wasn't the best right then, but it got me my nectar points. And I didn't really have anything to play.
Fair enough.
It was the best of nothing. Would have been nicer earlier, right?
Are you commenting on the Rainbow Lorikeet with the loud bird thing there, Scott Sword? Because the damn things are loud. I will attest to that. Somebody mentioned about the noisy miners yesterday and how loud they must be. Rainbow Lorikeets will give them a run for their money, for sure. In my neck of the woods.
Oh, can somebody hear the bird? There is a bird.
Oh, there's a bird in your background. I thought I was going insane, and it was the Wingspan board playing.
No, there is a bird. I mean, it's that time of day where I'm mid-morning, so
I thought
there's
it was the
definitely
sound effects.
out.
Okay, I'll cancel
but
what
I didn't
just
know, you know, because I have this thing in. I didn't know how much it picks up outside of my ear, my face, whatever.
What sort of bird is it that we're hearing?
I don't really know. Probably a cardinal. I'm not a great... I need, like, Merlin to identify it for you, which I could do real quick.
Yeah, that's alright.
Or if one of you is an expert and can hear it, maybe you know.
I can't decide what to play. Is this going to be worth it? It'll be an extra 2
to Carolina Wren.
Oh, that's cute. So it'll be 3 points plus 1, 2, 3.
Yes, I did get Merlin out.
4 eggs. 5 eggs. So 8 points. Maybe? I should play... play the Snowy Owl. Let's do that.
It was a Carolina Wren, not a cardinal. I thought it was a cardinal because there's a cardinal that lives just around the corner from where I'm sitting. That's why I guessed. Or like a cardinal family, I guess. There's 2 of them.
Ooh, that wasn't a very nice bonus card pull. That's upsetting. That's very upsetting. Snowy Owl. Maybe if I'd played the Tell Dove, things would have been... No, it would have been the same bonus card.
Oh, wait, I'm gonna not do that.
Yeah, thanks. Ouch. I could use a little bit of sympathy there. Hey Zoe, how you going? Welcome on in. So let's draw because I have to draw. Yes, yes. Ugh. I found the kiwi. That's so good. I'm so happy.
That's good. I love the kiwi. I feel like it's guaranteed.
Yeah.
Or I mean, I've certainly struck out with the booby and the kiwi every once in a while, but they're pretty guaranteed.
Everybody celebrate that kiwi with me because that is exactly what I needed in that moment. Yeah.
I know.
The triumph. The triumph. Stream a lot. I love it.
I have to decide what to do.
That's okay. It is the pointy end of the game.
I know. I have to do some counting. Okay, never mind. I don't actually have to do some counting. I already know.
Oh, you just got nectar coming out the wazoo over there, which isn't surprising.
I have too much. Yeah, I wish I had, like I said, the dove or the starling. It would have been a really good game if I had one of them. Like, good points. I mean, it's going to be decent points either way, but...
Can I afford to do that? Maybe not. I should lay eggs first. Goodbye, Shrike. Sorry, buddy. I can't decide whether I want to play this fairy wren. I keep staring at it. It's just as good as the ibis, and it's more fun.
Which one?
The fairy wren. I've got food web, so the one with the yellow power laying on birds less than 30 centimeters.
Oh, got it.
Which I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yes, the game and mathing.
Yeah. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I had a kiwi, I'll have 6. So then that's 1 point better than the ibis, and it's less food as well. Okay. I think we're onto something. And in fact, I can use the eggs to do my magpie lark play. No, I can't. If I play the fairy wren with the magpie lark. Because I've got nectar. Oh, it's too hard. Could play the kiwi with the magpie lark. 1, 2, 3. No, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. We're okay. I'm gonna put all the eggs in the... Oh, hang on. Hang on. Don't do that. Panic. Do it that way. We'll skip that. We'll be okay. Splendid because tiny and cute. Yes, indeed. They are actually completely small and adorable. We get them here in my neck of the woods. Extremely cute. And the blue ones are the males. If anybody didn't know that. Is that the fact on the thingy? I don't know. Let me see. So I think the plan is kiwi now. Pulse Vidi. Fingers crossed. Drum roll, please. Not the best. Okay, so that changes the equation. So now I play Ibis. But I can't play Ibis. Oh, that's really upsetting. No, because I've still got a white wagtail play as well. So I can play both.
Yeah, you should be able to play.
Yeah, I can play both. Okay.
Depending on your food situation.
I should be able to manage it. Just barely.
I'm curious if you ended up reading Demon Copperhead.
Oh, yes.
Since
I
you
think
mentioned
as
you
soon
were
as we've
going to
done this
listen to
game, that is what we're
Yeah.
going to talk about. I actually finished it like 25 minutes before the stream started.
I'm so impressed. I am so impressed. When you said you were going to read it this weekend or listen to it this weekend, I was like, are you sure? Isn't it like 500 pages or something?
I said that.
It's a big book.
Quite offhandedly.
Yeah.
And then it was my mission to get that done.
To finish it. I know. And then I thought, oh my gosh, I should probably read like a synopsis or something, like a refresher. Although it was so memorable for me. I haven't forgotten it.
Yeah. Okay. I think we're doing that. And I can sneak 3 points off grass and data. Okay. That is the plan. And I have just enough eggs as well. That's crazy. I have 1 extra egg. Okay. Threading the needle. I'm going to end on no cards, no food, and 1 egg. How did I manage that? Oh, that worm saved my life. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
That worm literally gave me 2 points. Thank you for that.
Well, I mean, because it's a friendly game about birds, that's cool. I'm glad.
Sorry.
I actually had more fun.
Didn't mean to rub that in your
final
face.
bonus card, it did nothing. So
Oh, that's
it was
rough.
a bit of a... Oh, I just pulled the collared dove. Oh my gosh, I wish I had somehow unearthed that. I could have played that as my last.
Yeah, that would have been better. Damn.
Gotten 10 points
Coulda, shoulda,
less
woulda.
whatever it cost to play it.
Mm.
Because I didn't even use the raven. Oh well. It was still a fun game. Like, I love
I
when
think you still probably have this,
everybody
to be
is getting
honest.
good cards. Like, this kind of game makes Wingspan super fun. And not just because we're, like, talking and having fun, too. But also, like, that is fun. But, like, where everybody's getting good cards and, like, food and stuff, I don't like it as much if either me or the other players just, like, struggling to have anything happening, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like a slaughter type situation.
Yeah, nobody likes a slaughter.
Yeah.
Oh,
Either
no.
way. Like, it's just not as fun.
I just played the wrong bird.
Oh no!
I'm an idiot.
Oops. Oh no.
Oh no.
Which one did you play?
I played it. I
Snowy
played the
Owl?
wrong bird.
Oh.
I was doing so well. I got overconfident.
I'm busy distracting you. It's my strategy.
Oh no,
No, I'm kidding.
guys. I'm so upset. It's because I said that your worm gave me 2 points. That's that was my downfall. That was the universe going.
It
and
got
now
in
your
your
brain won't
that
function.
that's like your no, I
Yeah.
get that. If I say something or hear somebody else saying something, then it goes into my brain and my brain assumes it as its own thoughts.
All right, I will tick that on my bingo card that I stuffed up the magpie lark. Oh, that's so upsetting. I'm only human, guys. It's fine.
Oh, I know. I've done it too. I hate
Just
it.
watch me get crushed. I don't think it would have mattered because I think you've got this anyway, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not going to matter.
I don't know. I was surprised. I've already seen the final score, so I'll let it be revealed.
Yeah, it wouldn't have mattered. It's fine. GG's. GG's. Oh, do my awkward, shameful
I know.
bow
No, it was
on that
a good
one.
game. It's funny, like in real life when you're actually talking to somebody, would you say like good game or would you be like, I don't know? Do you say the same thing? When you are playing people in person and you guys all finish, what do you say to each other about the game? Do you say, like, something as simple as, like, good game? Or do you say something like, where you go in depth about your game? Like, I think I would have enjoyed that more if I'd played the card I meant to play. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, you say something more, I don't know.
I'm not sure. It's been a minute since I got to play board games in person, which is one of the reasons why I was looking forward to UKGE so much.
Is that a big, like, tournament in Australia?
So it's in
or the UK?
It's in Birmingham. Yeah, I was supposed to be on a Europe trip for like
I'm guessing
5
since it has
weeks.
UK in the words.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it was hard. I had to cancel that, but my husband still went because it was primarily for his cousin's wedding, so I missed that as well.
Yeah.
And I missed out on some auntie time with my my niece and nephew on that side. So yeah, it's fine. It's all good. I had a little bit of time off work to kind of console myself, and it was a bit of a hard time while my husband was away because he does a lot for me. So yeah. All right, we'll not save that to the preserve archive because we want to forget that happened. Good game. All
yes,
right.
good game.
DucksUsuallyLie. Thank you. All right, I've got to do you proud in this one hand. All right. Stop scrolling up.
I feel like you're not a real wingspanner if you haven't made like all the classic mistakes.
I was so proud. I was like, I'm going to end on no cards and no food and one egg, and then just completely fumbles it. Yeah, I can the magpie lark. I get the eggs in the forest part. I always forget the bird has to go in the grasslands part. It's just, it's crazy. We might be sharing again. Might be what's happening. Yeah, throwing away good bonuses with Booby. It's on that level for sure. Alright, I'll let you pick your starting hand and then we can go through Demon Copperhead because I have thoughts. Like I said, I only just finished it. And the only reason I got over the line is because about 4 hours ago, I set it to 1.2 speed.
Oh yeah, so
which
they
I
read
normally
faster.
set my
Well, sometimes they read kind of so slow anyways.
Yeah, I don't usually do that. My audiobooks are usually such a, like, I just want to have a real chill plotting sort of experience, so I never set the speed higher. And so this is the first time I did, so it took me a good, like, half an hour to an hour to get used to the speed being higher, because it was sort of triggering my anxiety a little bit. It was sort of making me panic that the narrator was suddenly talking so fast. Because I had to do it that way for the first like 85% of the book. Yeah. But
I get that.
Audiobooks I normally listen to are more like sort of 15, 16 hours. So this one was 21 hours before I turned the speed up. So yeah, I hadn't quite realised how long it was until I saw that. And I was like, wow, I might have bitten off more than I could chew. But we made it work.
I'm going to look up how long it is. 560 pages. I was going to say, I know it's like more than, if you think a typical book is usually 300 to 400 pages. Like,
yeah, it was a little bit of a saga, and I felt that I really enjoyed it. Like I'm going to start raving about this book, but I felt it was a little bit, it was a little bit long. Like there could have been some shortening, perhaps in the middle parts.
Yeah. Really? See, I just loved it. And what I liked about it was that it's both, like, obviously has some extremely sad parts, as well as it's very deep. and it's a huge commentary on things happening in America, especially in that part of the country, in the Appalachians. But then also, it's funny.
Yeah.
It's funny. Sometimes the stuff that's happening is just so. And like, I lived in that part of the country for a while, and all of those people are so real. Like, those characters are just so spot on. Not just like the way they talk, the way they act, the funny things they, you know, think and do. And
Yeah, I suppose before I launch
but
into,
then definitely, like, the crisis is,
yeah,
with the
talking about
opiates
the book
in
proper,
that area,
it
serious.
made me take a bit of a look at the map of the US and realize that I was quite familiar with that area from one of my favorite TV shows, which is Justified. Have you seen that?
No, I am
No.
not a TV person.
No,
I'm
that's
like the
okay.
wrong person to ask
One of
about
my
TV.
all-time favorite
I know
shows.
it's popular, but I haven't.
Yeah, so
Like,
it's got like one of the reasons I love it is that the dialogue is so well written and it's just very snappy and yeah, it's something about that
yeah.
show is just well done on so many levels, and it really does dig into because it's set in Kentucky, so the
Okay.
east of Kentucky rather than the west of Virginia, which is where Demon Copperhead's set, and yeah, the same problems with the kind of institutional like poverty and child poverty
Yes.
and the pills and the unemployment and the kind of ex-coal mining area, and yeah, it's an amazing show. Yeah, Hen's seen Justified. I love it so much. I probably need to
I'm
rewatch
sure so
now.
many people's watched it. I like, so there's only so many hours in the day.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, TV is not something that captivates me that easily.
That's
so I
okay.
just don't watch that much TV. But then we do take up something, like, I just watched the Running Point show, unrelated to Demon Copperhead. Running Point. I don't know if anybody's heard of it, but it's a Mindy Kaling show.
Right.
Like, I gravitate towards funny things if I'm going to watch something.
Yeah, sure. So for anybody who's not familiar, because we are going to talk about this book sort of at length for the next little bit, is that it's called Demon Copperhead. It's by Barbara Kingsolver, and it must have been released just a few years ago because it won a Pulitzer in 2023. It actually tied with another book, which is the first time that's happened.
Did it?
Yeah.
Interesting. Which other book?
Oh, you're going to ask me.
I'll Google it.
No, it's okay. I have some notes and I've left them on my couch, which is unfortunate. But I probably know most of it. I'm the sort of person that I write notes, and the act of writing the notes is what kind of sticks it in my head.
Yeah, no, I'm the same.
So all throughout uni, and I actually like full on damaged the look of my handwriting from writing so fast at uni, along with the lectures.
Yeah.
Is that my handwriting became much more of a scrawl after that. But yeah, I would write the notes during the lectures and I would never ever refer to them. I would just have pages and pages of notes that I would never even look at because I would just somehow, like, I just didn't kind of need to. I'm not a freak or anything.
Somebody
it's
for
just,
Running Point.
Yeah.
Yes, we like binged the second half. So my husband is like a sports person and I am not a sports person. Like, I'm very active and I would say athletic, but that's a whole other thing too. Like, does being fit, is that the same as being athletic? Who knows? But I love Mindy Kaling. I think she's very funny. Her sense of humor always appeals to me, and I can't think of her name right now. Kate Hudson is in it, and I don't know, somebody, and it's like the same funny people who had worked on her past shows, like Ike Barinholtzer, I think I said his name right, and David Stawson, maybe. So it's the same group of creative minds behind it from some of her past shows. So it's very funny if you're looking for a funny show. And it takes time to develop. I don't know. I kind of feel like, maybe you guys disagree, but I feel like every show is a little rough in the beginning. Like, many shows are not great starting at episode 1, but then they kind of develop.
Oh, I'm a Star Trek fan, and that's just what's happened with every Star Trek show pretty much ever. So
yeah, like it starts out a little bumpy,
the
and then they get into it and they really decide what their voice is. I see that. I don't know. I see that in many TV shows.
Yeah. No, I haven't seen that one. I'll have to look it up. Running Point. Okay. But yeah, so Demon Copperhead is
sorry.
No,
Demon
you're fine.
Copperhead.
It's a modern retelling of Dickens's David Copperfield, which I'm quite big on classics from my uni days, because I did a Bachelor of Arts and mostly did English lit stuff. But I haven't actually read a lot of Dickens, and I hadn't read that one. I feel like I was thinking about it. I think I was supposed to read Great Expectations at some point, and I read a little bit of it.
I love that.
And I dropped it.
Yeah. Oh no, I loved that one. That's the one with
Yeah, I need to go back, because I have a thing where as soon as you assign me to read a book, I've struggled with book clubs with this before. As soon as you assign me to read a book, as soon as you give me a deadline and say read this book by this date, I really struggle, because something in me kind of just rebels against that. But
oh no,
I do love to read, and
yeah,
it's like it goes back to like year 11 in high school, when I was supposed to read both 1984 and Animal Farm, and I just didn't. And I still got an A.
Oh no!
So it's
Have
like
you read 'em?
It's kind of like that never punished sort of.
Well, I feel like those are two books where if you didn't read them, there are so many resources. So many people have had so many thoughts about it out there that you would be able to
and I had
do
a bit
it
of a hangover.
But they're both really good. You should.
Yeah, they are. I read half of
1984
a couple of years ago. I need to get back to the other half, or maybe start again. But
yeah, I remember Great Expectations. After we read it, we watched part of it, like from an old PBS version of it, and whoever played Pip was a very good looking man, and that stuck in my memory this whole time, and I have no idea who he is. He's probably just some like PBS actor. Very nice. I also think that Schitt's Creek is a great show. Sorry, that's from the chat. Yes, Frigate.
Nice. Where was I? So yeah, I never actually read David Copperfield, so approaching this book, I wanted to be familiar with that story, and I sort of was. Like, I knew it was like a coming of age kind of one of those tales, you know, if you want to use the academic term, it's a Bildungsroman, so like a self sort of autobiographical but fictional sort of a tale.
Yeah.
And yeah, gonna deny me the reroll, that's fair. And so what I did is, it was a good excuse on, was it Thursday night? Yeah, Thursday night I went and looked up, because there was a 2019 film, The Personal History of David Copperfield, which stars Dev Patel. And it has Hugh Laurie in it, and Tilda Swinton, and it's got a really great cast. And I really, really loved the film. I'll definitely revisit that a few times. And definitely got up to speed on the whole David Copperfield thing because of that.
Yeah.
And
I have not read David Copperfield.
I was wondering that. That was going to be one of my questions, if you were familiar with the story before you picked up Demon Copperhead.
But that's actually an interesting thing in its own, because I just had to put down a book that's like a modern retelling of Pride and Prejudice, and I think part of why it's not entrancing me is because I don't know the story. I've never read Pride and Prejudice, or I've never watched it, you know, so like judge me as you will and possibly should. But I don't know, I can't get into it. But it's also an Australian book, so maybe you should check it out. And it's popular. It's probably a bestseller of some sort, and it's, I think, a Reese Witherspoon pick.
What's it called?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm gonna have to look it up. It's called. I read on a e-reader, so sometimes I forget the name. Stuck Up and Stupid is what it's called, by Angourie or Anjuri Rice. I'm not sure how to say that name. A-N-G-O-U-R-I.
I'll have to look that up. I am also a massive Jane Austen fan, so I'm always looking for something related.
Yeah, and then the other good one, James. I read James, which is by Percival Everett, which just won the Pulitzer this year.
Yeah. Also
a retelling of Huck Finn, but from the perspective of Jim, the slave that's with them, and that's James. And that is an incredible story as well. But that's also another one. I want to say in elementary school here, or it's not elementary school, it's older. Okay, so like let's say in high school we read excerpts of Huck Finn. Like I did AP English, like the higher honors English and stuff. But so you do read a lot of very serious novels. But Huck Finn is not one we read all the way through. We only read excerpts of it, and probably because of some of, you know, like the racism in it. I don't know. Maybe not, because we read all kinds of books.
Yeah,
but
sure. Say
but
Jane,
for
Jane
that
Eyre
one,
is another
like I
example
had to go Google.
of that kind of
it, you know,
genre. Yeah.
What happens? Yeah, in Huck Finn, right?
Yeah.
Because I didn't know it, and this one I did look up the story of David Copperfield. I think too, because I've never read it. So, like, my point is that sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Like, for some, I think I would have to have already known the story and loved the story and be committed to the story to, like, follow through with reading Stuck Up and Stupid. But because I don't know and love the story in advance, I don't know. I've just decided to move on to a different book. I've gotten to the point where, like, if I get to a point where in the book where you, you know, like you're just not progressing like you hoped to progress.
Yeah, I didn't used to have the ability to stop a TV show or a book or whatever it was that I wasn't enjoying when I was younger. And nowadays, because there's so much out there to pick from, particularly TV wise, I will watch a few episodes and go, nah, this isn't for me. Whereas I used to properly push through in the past and watch more, especially because, like you said, you kind of want to give something a go, particularly if it's the first season, and let it kind of get its feet under it. But I think with the Demon Copperhead thing, I definitely don't think it's compulsory to be familiar with the David Copperfield story to get into it, but it's kind of that sense of it being a modern American kind of a modern American retelling that's kind of trying to capture that that kind of earnest, how am I going to describe Dickens? Kind of sense of the everyday and the kind of celebration of the quirks and the peculiarities of life and the different types of people that you meet. That's definitely present in Kingsolver's novel. And so I think even if you're not super familiar with Dickens, you kind of have that sense, you know, that Oliver Twist, you know, please sir, may I have some more, or the Christmas Carol, you know, that kind of, even if you've just seen the Muppets Christmas Carol, you kind of, Dickens is such an iconic kind of literary master that you've got, which is funny because relating that back to what I was saying about Terry Pratchett earlier, is that Dickens in his day was considered to be quite kind of lowbrow and kind of trashy, because he would release his stuff in serialized form, just in little bits and pieces through the kind of pamphlets that circulated in Victorian London. And so it's funny that he's sort of considered to be such a kind of on such a literary pedestal these days, because in his time he was very much not the case.
That's interesting. But that's, I mean, that goes back to, like, I think there's a brilliance in it. I bet people read his stuff all of the time though back then, because he was letting it out in little snippets, so it was like watching an episode, you know, the old style of watching an episode. Now we just get everything all at once, and you can binge things. But you know, where you wait, or some shows do that, like I think Mandalorian is whenever it's out, it's like once a week. You can get the show. There
was a real period, a good sort of 10-15 years ago, when Netflix was still kind of the one big thing, where Netflix would drop the whole season and it would be a real kind of, okay, we must watch this all in one go and binge it through. And it's really swung back in terms of trends in TV, back to the more serialized, like drip feed it to you rather than drop the whole season kind of a thing. Which is interesting. You see the trends over time for how we consume different media, for sure. But yeah, I really enjoyed the novel. It'd be interesting if I could go back and go into it without knowing and having the David Copperfield, the Dickens story so fresh in my mind. I mean, admittedly, I didn't read David Copperfield and I haven't, but I'm presuming that a lot of that is within the film that I watched, even though it's a kind of perhaps a bit of a quirkier retelling, the film, and obviously translated in itself from book to screen, which I really like the process of adapting things from TV to from book to TV. That's one of my favourite topics to talk about, is in how books are adapted and the different choices that are made in transferring the story from different mediums. So
definitely. Well, there's so much, like, I don't know if you ever read the Game of Thrones books. You know, like the way they got translated to television is obviously extremely different, but that's because there's so much, you know, I don't know, sometimes fantasy writers could probably listen to their editors a little bit more, but that's not really how the genre always works. So then you have a lot, like, too much for TV. Like, you need to make it more short and entertaining and
it's funny that you mentioned Game of Thrones.
Not have so much dead time.
Yeah, because I was a real Game of Thrones kind of hipster, because I actually read the books.
Did you read the books? Yeah, I read them too. But that's my personality. So we started the TV show, and then I began reading the books and like rapidly read them. And it was before the time I had kids too, so like all my free time could just be reading. And
I was one of those like my partner.
But that's a great example of like, you cannot you know, that does not translate direct to television. There was like an entire 400 pages where Jaime Lannister is like riding around in a field having an existential crisis, and like that was it. That is the only thing that happens in that time period, best I can remember. And you know, so like you have to cut that out. But that's, I don't know. I just read these. Have you read those? A throne. What are they called? A court of like thrones.
No, I know that's a
thrones. Somebody's
really
gonna be like, it's not thrones. You don't know the name of it, but a court of whatever.
All the fantasy novels these days are all like a something of something and something, and it's like
yeah, I can't remember them, but but those are ones where. And what was I going to say? Oh, I don't want to do that. An editor would have helped. I don't know. I mean, that sounds cruel, and I don't mean to be judgmental of somebody else's hard work, but at the same time, like, it just...
I enjoyed the show for what it was. I hope that George R.R. Martin finishes the series, but I'm more and more convinced that he probably won't. But it's
oh no, I think he's living the good life with the proceeds from the show, and probably doesn't care anymore.
Wrote himself into a corner, I think. But like I was saying about Demon Copperhead, like I wish that I could have both gone into it for the first time knowing the David Copperfield story, and also at the same time gone into it without knowing, and sort of been able to experience it both ways. Like, you can only read something for the first time once. And so it being so fresh that I'd seen that film on Thursday night and then dove straight into the audiobook of,
that is really
of Demon Copperhead the next day.
Close in proximity.
So I had it really fresh in my mind, the like beats of the story, and I was almost waiting for them to drop in the book, which is why maybe the book at times felt like it was kind of meandering slightly, even though I was enjoying it still. I was sort of waiting for that next plot point to drop, essentially. But
sorry, it's not letting me do something for some reason. It's not letting me. I'm trying to play a bird and it won't let me use the weeds that I have.
That's interesting. Have you tried going into habitat mode and then?
Oh, I should
habitat
try that.
mode
I tried on my
solves a lot of
phone.
little bugs for me.
It still won't do it, and it wouldn't do it on my phone either.
Oh, have you tried a menu reset?
You mean just going out to the main menu? I'll do that, and then if it doesn't work, I'll just play something else.
Oh, hopefully you won't have to.
I can be flexible.
Catching up on the chat, Zobi's reading Storm of Swords right now. Okay, so you've got some stuff to catch up on in terms of what the show wasn't sort of telling you. So strap yourself in, bud. It seems to be spoiling how House of the Dragon is going to turn out. Let me think about that. Storm of Swords, House of the Dragon. You'll have to tell me what parts you're referring to. You can pick my brain on this, Sobs. I'm pretty big into Game of Thrones, despite its...
I can't use my wheat, but I think I'm going to just use something else. It's okay. I'm going to close it and then reopen it.
It's a problem with the cold hit, is it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know why it wouldn't let me use my wheat.
So you had to force it
but
down.
But I tried
with
it on
other
my
food.
phone too. Yeah.
That's annoying.
So we'll see.
Zobi says as well that he saw the Lord of the Rings movies first and enjoyed the books after. And I actually did too. Lord of the Rings is one of my most favourite series, actually. And it's what if I have trouble sleeping, I'll put on the first few chapters.
You know, there's so many people
Lord
that
of the
do
Rings
that
on audiobook.
Yeah.
And I have Andy Serkis put me to sleep.
Or put on the movie.
So Lord of the Rings has become a real kind of comfort place for me, in terms of the book and having it read to me. But the films came out when I was 2000 was The Fellowship, so I would have been 12. Yeah. Okay. So I was sort of 12, 13, 14 when they came out, and so it was a real kind of zeitgeisty thing for me, The Lord of the Rings. Alright.
I just remember, yeah, my best friend in law school, she used to watch the movies while she would study and stuff. Like, she would just have them on in the background, which is not a thing I can do. My brain doesn't work that way. I can't have TV on and do anything. But I don't know, I think it's just like a real comfort for people.
What food do I want? What am I going to play?
But I actually have not read Lord of the Rings.
Oh, it's a good one. It's a good one.
I know. I know it's a good one.
Especially if you
maybe next time.
Game of Thrones. Like, if you're into high fantasy.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, mixed.
Not that they're comparable,
level
but like,
enjoy.
obviously you enjoy fantasy on the whole.
To some extent, yes. Like, I also think, like I said, what I've noticed is sometimes there is some editing that could be happening and it's just not. And I don't know why that seems to happen more often in fantasy.
Yeah.
To me.
Sure.
Or at least the fantasy I've read, you know, who knows? I
think fantasy authors kind of, just by being a byproduct of the genre, that they tend towards longer length, is that they kind of get a little bit of a pass to waffle on a bit from their publishers, just because of like expected length of a book in that kind of arena.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, I know what you're talking about now, Zoe.
The bonus cards I keep getting stuck.
Yeah, let's go again. Ooh, that's going to be a choice. I just pulled the Puffin. If Hen's still here, check out how quickly I ditched that 3-food wheat boy. I'll let you go first. Scottswood says, standard question from me. Whenever you finish this train of thought, favorite IRL and also in-game bird. All right, let's
I love that.
Take a detour from Demon Copperhead for that question.
Ducks. Yeah, I realized when you asked me about pets, like I didn't even talk about ducks, but ducks are my actual favorite bird. Just generally, it can be all ducks, but I've had a lot of domestic ducks at different times, and mostly when I was growing up. And then when I moved into this home, we have neighborhood ducks too. So they were, well, we don't anymore because they were all eaten by predators.
Oh.
But we had pet ducks, and we would go out and feed them every day, and they were khaki Campbells, and some khaki Campbells and some Pekins, and just like really friendly. And growing up, my most beloved duck, Kelly, I had for like 8 or 9 years, I think. And he was a blue Swede. So those are all duck breeds I like. Those are all domestic ducks. None of those are wild ducks. And then, so like, favorite bird in the game, I don't know. There's some birds that you really like. Like, I really like a wood duck, but I don't necessarily think that that's the number one bird. I'm like, yes, I've got a wood duck. Like, it's a good card, but I don't know if that would be my favorite. Like, what's your favorite card where you're like, yes, I've got it? Is that what you mean by your favorite bird card, or you just mean
It could be either.
pretty...
Like, you could take it as like which one just to steal a Marie Kondo phrase. Which one brings you which one sparks the most joy?
Yeah, you're like, oh, a duck.
Yeah. Or you could be like, which one strategically would you go for over all the others? Or you can even go, which one do you most like to see in your starting hand? Or there's a few different ways you could interpret it.
But then the starting hand one, it's so different. Like, sometimes you are happy no matter. I'm happy to see like 20 different birds in my starting hand, you know? But one thing I really struggle with is if I don't have a way to get birds, I feel like I flounder. So any bird that gives me birds, regardless of which, you know, location it goes in, I feel more secure if I have that. That's like my security blanket. Although I have plenty of getting birds right now, and I'm not doing that good. So.
I mean, I'm pretty jealous of your wood duck because I'm struggling a bit for food. Don't know. I'm at a bit of a crossroads at the minute.
Ooh, we need to click that. Okay.
Might be forest bush tit, huh, people? I think that might be the way.
But I will say, like, I'm a big bird person in real life in general. Like, I'm an actual birder. I enjoy it. My sister also plays the game. You guys
we figured, considering how quickly and easily you pulled out Merlin, that you must be a bit of a bird girl.
But, like, my sister was just birding.
Oh, yes, I do know Texas. That your sister is a birder.
She shared it. Yeah. And so definitely interested. And we were just talking about this because there's a house across the street from us for sale, and it says that it's waterfront. And my husband's like, I feel like that's a gross misuse of that term to say waterfront, because we live on like a built canal. It's like a waterway, but it is water. But I guess when you say waterfront, you mean like, usually that means like beach or a more luxurious body of water, I guess.
Yeah.
Kind of like a misuse of the term by the realtor to sell the house, perhaps.
What area do you live in, by the way, generally?
I live in Texas.
All right.
Is that what you mean?
Yeah. That's fine. You can be as specific or general as you like.
So this waterfront house, where was I going with this? Oh, yeah. So we have a lot of water birds that come through, like, right by my house. And there's, we get a lot of herons. We get a lot of migrating birds too, all of them. And I will say, like, Texas has a ton of problems. I'm not going to say, like, all the best things about it, but we get really great birding. So all the birds migrate through here on their way to, like, Mexico or warmer locations, or even just Texas where it is warmer. And so we get a lot of good birds. And like right now we have a whole bunch of night herons and yellow-crowned night herons, as well as the green night herons or green herons or whatever, in our neighborhood. Like, see them all the time. Saw them this morning on my walk. And we have blue herons that don't migrate, that live year round, and we have had in the past like Canada geese that live year round and don't migrate. So I don't know.
Canada
All
geese
of those,
are so
I guess,
striking with their black heads. I think,
yeah.
you know, being a
I
bit
was
afraid
so
of
unusual
geese,
to think about, like, you don't.
I think Canada geese are very, very distinguished gentlemen.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, that's so weird to think about. Like, Canada geese are just everywhere. People don't like them,
Okay.
to be honest.
All right.
But I like them. I like them.
That's good.
They can rest in their, gain their self-confidence from
They're good with you.
Yeah, I love them. We had the craziest one in our neighborhood, and of course these kids. I'm also like a crazy bird lady. You can bird
I love it.
Karen.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm into it.
So these kids were like harassing these Canada geese, and we have the Migratory Bird Act in the U.S. So you basically can't do anything to most birds. Okay, it covers almost like every bird that's not a domestic bird, and
Are you
so
guys
you
seeing
can't
the
mess with their
screech owl,
nest,
by
you
the
can't
way?
touch their
He's
eggs, you
just
can't pick up their
overachieving over
feathers.
here. Sorry, my screech owl
Which
is
one?
just going off. He just rolled 3. It's a shame he
It's
doesn't.
getting everything. I love when that happens.
Yeah, screech owl is doing some work.
I love when that happens. It's a good thing. Oh yeah, so you can't mess with any birds, and these kids were like harassing some Canada geese because kids love to do it because they react really big, right? So they'll run after you and threaten to bite you and that sort of thing. And so I come out like a bird Karen, like I'm like, y'all, that's illegal. Stop doing that. I'm gonna call the police or whatever.
Oh, I love it.
I don't know.
That's cool.
Put it on the neighborhood group chat. Somebody's kids are messing with birds.
Yeah, exactly. Set them straight. Start an after-school special sort of, I don't know, impromptu neighborhood play or something.
Don't harm the Canada geese.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we get Canada geese that never migrate here, big time, and herons that never migrate, which are.
Oh, we lost Ducks. Hang on. Is she back?
Oh.
Might be an internet issue, maybe?
Am I here?
You're lagging a bit.
I wonder. Am I? I am the bird police. I am bird law. Let's see. Am I still lagging? My battery on my computer is low.
Yeah, you are lagging, unfortunately. Do you need to go and have you got an outlet that you can plug into?
Yeah, I can grab a portable charger too.
I'll entertain.
Go grab one, and let's see if that fixes the problem. Because the internet.
You have come back, so you're not lagging currently.
Low. Okay, did I come back? Like, I have three bars on the internet, and I'm close to one of the.
You're out of sync now, though,
routers.
with your lips and the audio. But we can
Let me grab
a
charger and see if this solves the problem, okay?
Oh, I think you're in sync again.
Oh, am I?
Boy band style.
I can grab a charger if I need to. Oh, man, I just don't know if I can. I think you're definitely going to win this one.
Oh, I don't know.
I just don't think I can. I do, but like nothing's really doing it.
Okay. I've got lots of birds I want to play and not enough turns to play them, which is always upsetting.
Yeah. Oops. Oh, good. Also, well, me is that in the beginning, all I had was bonus card birds.
Yeah,
but
you
they
have got
cards
quite a
that I
few
will not
down.
be able to fulfill. Yeah. I am gonna have to grab a charger. Is that okay?
Yeah, go for it.
Do you want me just to?
No,
Okay.
just leave. It's fine.
Here.
Leave now, and please come back. I'm gonna. What? I feel like that was almost the exact same feeder when I flipped it, but that's okay. We can make do. I can't decide what to play, people. Help me. Oh, this Screech Owl man. Are you seeing this? Seriously. It's kicking ass and taking names over here. Alright. So if I can get 3 birds down for Prairie Manager, that would be very nice. One of them being the Bobolink.
Okay, I'm back.
Coach me, people, coach me. Which birds? No, it's fine. I'm a big girl, I can make my own decisions.
I need coaching. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
I can F up my magpie lark if I want to. I can leave my chat behind.
I don't know what I'm doing anymore. We'll just hope for the best.
Oh, okay. That's...
I know, yeah. I have like all of the good birds, but I have like no bonus points right now. I have no bonus points right now, so okay.
That makes me feel better.
I'm actually struggling for my points, to be abundantly clear, because I wasted time, you know, so none of those, the painted bunny is only worth 5 points and didn't pay out.
Okay.
Because it gave me a bonus card I can't seem to...
That's difficult, yeah, okay.
Fulfill. If you get me.
Yeah, I get you. Let's do... Oh, I've got a Bobolink Planeswanderer situation, because I'm like, I want to play the Planeswanderer last because I'll get more bonus cards, but I want to play the... I mean, it's only 1 egg, isn't it? So I'll play the Bobolink now. It's fine. That one, that one, that one. I think. Yes, thank you. All the eggs. Chat's being quiet. Where's chat gone? Yeah, we have Game of Thrones things to talk about if you want to pick my brain on that, Zoe. For sure.
What was your favorite part of Demon Copperhead, since you've read it more recently?
Yeah, I mean the part towards the end with the Devil's Bathtub was pretty epic. It's really interesting that they had the climax of, because that's sort of the kind of peak, I suppose, of the story, in terms of action, and having that be so closely related to his kind of tragic past in terms of that's how his father died, and that place being quite kind of filled with dread for him, that he was trying to avoid it, and the whole themes of kind of water and drowning and wanting to see the ocean and the aquarium that he went to in Knoxville is such an interesting thread that goes through the whole thing.
Oh yeah, that's super interesting.
Yeah, so I really enjoyed that, and that
I don't think I really thought of it beforehand.
Yeah, well, even in that sort of opening couple of paragraphs when he talks about being born in that kind of what do you even call it, the sack, I guess, and sort of having to free himself, and the whole kind of urban myth of that means I can't drown because of the way that I was born, even if it's an old sort of wives' tale. Too sleepy to chat. Oh, Hen, I can relate. That was me last night.
No, that's so interesting. See, it's been a while. And this is what I love. Like, a part of me wishes you could just go back and take random college courses as an adult, which maybe you can, but I don't know at what caliber you could do it, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Like,
I definitely would.
Would you get the same experience if you did a community college, and would the big university allow you to take that kind of class, even if you weren't working towards a degree? The answer is probably no here, but maybe somebody else knows. I don't know. I would just love something like that. Like, I do book club, but it's not comparable.
Yeah, if I could redo my undergrad as an adult, like a proper adult. I don't really class myself as being an adult when I was like 19. I didn't appreciate it when I was there, and I've forgotten half the things that I learned. I would just love to take literature classes again, and just yeah,
I know, it would be so. We had to do these things in college called CPs, and they were like class preparations, but it was a list of questions about whatever we read. Sorry, my wingspan just
crashed,
stopped on my computer, so I think I'm just going to open it on my phone.
Okay.
I think my computer's just hot, and that's why it's not doing it. It got hot and low battery. No, I agree completely. Like, I just miss that. I wish I could. I said sometimes, like, I wish I could take a vacation where I just go back to college and, like, have a weeks of assignments or something. And also the pace of college.
Scott Sild's question, he can hear a dog, ?
Yes, one of my dogs is out here. I'll show you if I can in just a second, since now I have to do the game on my phone and the video. Here, I'm gonna see if I can open it back. I don't know if it'll. There she is. That's Stella.
Aw, sweetheart.
So that's the old one, but she wanted to come lay out on the concrete.
Stella's the name of Hen's ginger cat. Did you know that?
It's a popular pet name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Stella.
cute.
And I don't know if it looks like my other dog didn't come outside. But my little one, Roy, is like really my dog.
Yeah.
Wherever he is.
It's funny how that happens.
Before I had kids. Yeah. Well, before we each had a dog. My husband and I met when we were older. So, like, we each had our own dog when we got married. And I had a Pomeranian, and I had rescued her while I was in law school. And then but she had a health problem, and she was already, like, 6 when I adopted her. 6 or 7. And so she didn't live that long. And then I wanted to get another Pomeranian because I liked her so much. And so I adopted another Pomeranian. And, I don't think Wingspan's going to work on my computer right now.
Oh, no. Okay.
I think I just need to clip it. I'm getting the pinwheel of death. There we go.
With one
That's
turn
okay,
left to go.
because I can play it on my
How
phone.
painful.
Yeah. And it's just like the video seems to be working fine.
Oh,
so
good.
I'll just play the game on my phone. But, yeah, so I don't know. We adopted another Pomeranian, and I am a lifelong equestrian, so I've ridden horses most of my life, and I rode competitively through college and stuff, doing 100 jumpers, like riding the horse over jumps. And so when I got pregnant with my first child, I rode until I was about 12 weeks pregnant, and then that's kind of the point where, like, it's a personal choice.
Sure.
And there's a really equestrian who rode until she had, like, a huge bump riding big Grand Prix. And
Yeah, that's like weightlifting or running, isn't it? It's sort of very dependent on the person and what their doctor recommends.
Running, they say, is okay. I ran throughout both pregnancies, but I really ran in my second pregnancy. Like, really just didn't think about heart rate or anything like that. But so when I was 12 weeks, I started doing agility with my dog because I don't know, I was like, this will be a nice alternative. So I don't know, he was really good at it, and it's fun.
Cute. Aw.
That's something I kind of think about when I think about my next dog. Like, it's got to be something that can run with me. I think we're going to get not another Pomeranian, something bigger that can run.
Yeah. Or even like a collie or something, maybe?
Yeah, definitely. So I would lean towards a border collie. My husband had me research English shepherds, and obviously Australian shepherds are really popular. So something in that kind of family, I think would be good. And because of the warmer weather, like the shorter, like the borders, some of them have the smooth coat and just kind of short hair. I think that's nice for Texas.
Yeah, I do feel bad sometimes. My cat is both my cats are technically medium hair, but I say my Ginger is kind of extra medium hair because he's very fluffy, but not quite really on the level of a long hair. And in the summer, I just look at them and I go, I'm so sorry, and I just want to shave them.
Do you have, like, is there, okay. Now this sounds really stupid and American-y, but do you have air conditioning?
Oh, yeah. Live and die.
I was like, isn't most of Australia pretty hot?
Yeah, I don't deal well with heat, so I basically sit in front of the air conditioner all summer.
Yeah, okay. Yes, I mean, I live in a place in the United States where everybody has air conditioning. Like, that's a standard of living, you know, and it's a problem if somebody doesn't, right? And they have to have things like homeless shelters because people can't survive the elements, right? And the element is heat in the summer. So you have to have access to air conditioning. It's like a human right in Texas. Okay. And I don't know, but then there's all kinds of places where people don't, like every time we go to Colorado in the summer, like there's no air conditioning, which is fine, except for that some days it's really hot and then you're just really hot, you know?
This is my old man.
Wait, let me pull it. I don't have the video.
Oh, no.
I had to close it because I was playing the game on my phone.
That's okay. This is my Odin.
I know I'd show you my Lucy cat if I was inside, but she... Did your cats try to escape? I'm assuming they're all inside, right? Most people's cats are inside.
We have an enclosed backyard, so we have like netting all along our fence. We have quite a shallow backyard, so it's more of a courtyard type of thing. And yeah, we've enclosed it, so they've got a cat door and they can go out into the backyard whenever they want. But they love the front.
I love that.
They love to get out and sort of sniff around and check the temperature of the neighborhood and see what's going on. So Ben, it's usually Ben, lets them out the front and supervises them. And yeah, I occasionally give Odin a walk.
I love that. I love that for your cats. This is a thing, and maybe this is an American thing, but people are so aggressive about the fact that you can't let your cats out anymore. But my mom was actually saying this about my backyard. She's like, there's no way your cat can get over your fence. It's too tall.
Yeah.
Like, it's like a 10-foot wood fence. And so the parts of it that are the little iron things, whatever you call it, the little metal gates and stuff, like, couldn't you just close those off using either chicken wire, or some people put the wood slats on those, like, just to ensure that the cat could never go out front. I don't really know if that's possible, but I just wish that I could do that for her because she really wants to be an outside cat. So sometimes we put the harness on her, or we put her in the trampoline because you can kind of like zip the door.
When we rented, so up until about, when did we, so we've been in this house sort of 4 or 5 years now. And before that we were renting, and I did irresponsibly let this one roam. Thankfully he was good with cars and roads and things. But he did used to have the run of the neighbourhood, and I'm sure unfortunately hunted things and created mischief. But it's hard when you're renting.
But that's kind of what they're meant. Like, I have no judgment for somebody who lets their cat out. Like, that's what they're intended to do, is hunt. So, I mean, I think it's good for them.
Yeah.
I just think my cat has never been outside, and she's 4 and she has no sense
Sure.
about like cars and stuff.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
know?
the hunting thing tends to be more the hot button side of it in Australia because we're so conscious of conservation and the little kind of creatures and birds and
Oh,
things
got it.
that
Yeah.
are endangered. So definitely can be habitat wreckers, cats, because they're such ferocious hunters. In fact,
That's so interesting.
funny story.
But it makes sense.
My ginger Apollo Beans, he brought in a mouse a couple of days ago, and Ben and I were running around the house madly trying to catch this mouse, which unfortunately
Oh no.
was still very much alive, but had a couple of teeth marks in it. So I'm sure the poor thing probably died.
No.
But I did manage to catch it and release it outside, out the front, where Beans couldn't re-catch it. But yeah.
I just took in a bunny. I saw the bunny first, but then somebody's dog picked it up, so I took it in. Because I'm also a bunny person.
Oh, cute.
So I've had many bunnies. So I took it in and just kept it overnight and followed whatever directions the rehabber said. And I don't know. It's fine. I released it in the yard where it's probably building tunnels.
Nice. That's cute. Rabbits are a real pest here, like feral animal. And so unfortunately, I mean, not to get really morbid at the end of the stream, but you kind of almost encouraged not to feel too sad if you run one over in the country, because they're just so such a problem. the rabbits, because they're feral.
Yeah.
Well,
they're good here. We have so many predators. They're good. Like, at least specifically where I live, there's a ton of predators. So they are well eaten and well moderated, if you will. There's hawks have a nest right across the street from my house and the neighbor's house, and then the next neighbor is kites, and then we get like bobcats and coyotes and little foxes, ugly little brown foxes too. So there's lots of things
fox, actually. Speaking of other feral animals, we have feral foxes.
Yeah.
And I saw one. I was actually taking Odin on a bit of a walk late night the other day. And I thought there was a dog in the street, and I turned around and I looked at it properly, and I was like, that's a fox. And I live like 4 k's from the center of one of Australia's, not the biggest of cities, but decent sized city. And this is just fox just chilling out in the inner city suburbs. No worries.
Yes, well, that's in the suburbs. There's plenty of green space still, so they definitely exist, and they eat your trash and stuff if you don't put it in a trash can. But I don't know, do you get the pretty red ones, or do you get the little brown ones?
They're the pretty red ones, yeah.
Or something else, yeah. Like, I feel like in the UK, they're always the pretty little red ones that you think of a fox looking like. Where here, they're kind of like squirrel colored.
Yeah, we have foxes.
Well, then I say that, and squirrels will come in all different colors too, so never mind. They're just brownish.
Yeah, I mean, we get the pretty possums and the pretty foxes. Also has
bunnies.
And the pretty pelicans, in my opinion.
You get all the pretty things. Well, isn't the gala from like your neck of the woods, or no?
The
Oceania somewhere.
The galah, thank you.
Galah. There you go. I didn't say it right.
That's okay.
I know Australia has foxes. I feel like I should ask you more about Australia. That's what I should have done this entire podcast, because I'm sure many of us are curious about. It's got its like unique habitat. It's its own place. Like, it's its own continent.
Yeah.
In addition to being
we do have some pretty unique.
Like, you have a lot of wildlife that is unique. Whereas if you're in like Germany versus, I don't know, Spain or something, there is going to be different wildlife, but it's not. It's the same as being in like California versus Texas. Like, you're going to see a lot of the same, right?
It's the island continent.
With only some unique differences.
The kind of evolutionary
the island
divide
makes it totally different.
that happened at some point. No, we're very rich in unique wildlife for sure. And I actually had a galah as a pet when I was a kid, and also a sulphur-crested cockatoo.
Really?
So it doesn't get much more Australian than that. The sulphur-crested was called Aussie, and we think that maybe he might have been poached from the wild. Actually, he was still quite quite a wild beast, and I was a bit scared of him. He could
kind of
probably
feral.
take a finger if he wanted. I think he eventually escaped, and it was probably the best thing all around. And our Galar's name was Sammy, and my dad had actually taught him to say, you'd say, hello, Sammy, and he would say, hello, Sammy.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah,
I
so they
love
have that kind of parrot ability.
And that's just a bird that's wild,
well,
talking to you. Like, I mean, there's nothing...
the Galar
Sorry, go on.
would have been raised and bought from a pet shop, I believe. I'd have to ask my dad where Sammy came from.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely to have that ability to teach them phrases like parrots. I'm not sure to the same extent, but...
or at least the game Wingspan portrays them as being a non-domestic bird.
Yeah.
Perhaps they're not.
No. Perhaps there wasn't something entirely legal about that whole pet bird scenario when I was a kid. I'm probably getting my parents in trouble right now. I'm sure it was fine. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we have some really cool wildlife here.
I don't know where fennec foxes live in real life.
Are they the
in
Arctic
the scrub?
Fennec.
Oh
No, sorry.
No, they're the little
fennecs.
Ones with the ears.
Sorry, they're desert foxes, aren't they? Yeah.
Yeah. We used to play, what's that game? The zoo game? Zoo Tycoon, maybe. I don't know if it's called Zoo Tycoon exactly, but it is a Zoo Tycoon game, and you put the foxes in scrub, I think.
Fennec foxes, yeah, the deserts of North Africa. That's what it says, yeah. I'm thinking of course, Arctic foxes, which are the ones with the opposite, the quite stubby ears that are bright white.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, very cool. Very cool, very cool. So yeah, I don't think we kind of like finished the game and then just completely ignored it.
Talking about random stuff. But then there was a bunch of stuff I was trying to read and not just cut the people off.
So yeah, thank you very much. It was a good couple of games. Any other questions for Ducks before we sort of finish up? I'll let the chat process that for a minute. But yeah, I think there was some demand for perhaps some sort of a little unofficial or not sort of book club discussion afterwards. We had some interest, I think, for further discussion on Demon Copperhead and maybe some other... I don't think we spoiled it too much, so I'm sure if you still were interested in that, you could pick it up and let us know your thoughts on it. I left some links in the stream discussion, the stream description, with some links to a couple of reviews that I saw, and also the movie I mentioned, The Personal History of David Copperfield with Dev Patel, the 2019 film. It's actually free to watch on YouTube with ads at the moment, so it's quite accessible if anybody hasn't seen that or wants to see it again. I was literally about to rent it through something, I don't know, Prime or something, and then I thought, I'll just check YouTube, and through YouTube Movies and TV, the kind of official part, it's currently free to watch, so it's a good one. What else? So coming up next, we have the Determinator. Early next week, I believe, is up next on the stream, so watch out for that one. I'll be posting some reminders and more precise details, and probably picking his brain for things to talk about. But Hen's saying next Wingspan buddy read. Okay, yeah, buddy reads are a thing. Hen and I have one that we're trying to get off the ground at the moment. Scott's still saying what an enjoyable...
What is a buddy read?
A buddy read, it's almost like the equivalent of a... What do you call the stream version? Like a group viewing of a TV show, but you're kind of both... It's sort of like a book club, but you're literally reading the book together, and you can see where each other is up to and things. Something that Hen and I are going to try out. There's a feature on Storygraph. Are you into Storygraph or Goodreads or anything like that for your books, Ducks?
Well, Storygraph. Sorry, I don't know what that is. Is that I'm on Goodreads?
Goodreads,
and I would happily share my Goodreads channel. I think we shared it once, or maybe somebody else sent me theirs and I friended somebody. I'm on Goodreads. I use the challenge feature and then, just keeping track of what I've read, but then also trying to push myself to read. I think I did 30 books this year. Like last year, I didn't read as many because I was busy playing Wingspan as I normally read.
Respect.
So this year I was trying to get back to reading a normal for me, or typical, or even a little bit more. Because I can usually read at least 24 books in a year, like 2 a month.
Yeah, nice. No, that's
regardless
really
of how
good to
busy
have that
I am.
habit, for sure. I lost track of reading for a long
State
time.
book club.
I have so many books, it's ridiculous, but the TBR pile is sky high. I need to read more.
I try not to make mine be too high, and it helps. Like, since I've switched to using an e-reader, it helps, I think, to some extent, because I don't just like wander into a bookstore and like pick up a pretty book. I'm like, if you're borrowing it from the library, then you're fighting tooth and nail for it, and if you're buying it, you're also being cautious because they're more expensive.
Sure.
I think than you can usually find a paperback for. So
yeah, I was going to ask you whether you do physical books or an e-reader, and you've answered that question, so thanks.
I really switched that habit, but it's so. I mean, different things. I guess they could each be more environmentally friendly for different reasons, right? But I like the having of stuff and a lot of stuff, and it piling up and not really having a place to go is like a huge source of anxiety for me.
Sure.
And if it's contained to like a little e-reader, it does bother me.
Nice.
It doesn't matter that there's like a lot of books, as long as, but I still have a stack in my bedroom, and I still use some physical books for my work too.
Sure.
And sometimes if I buy a parenting type book where maybe I'm not going to read it cover to cover, like I'm just going to sort of take what I need, then I prefer a paperback, because it's easier to, like, especially a Kindle Paperwhite is not very friendly to searching something within a book and trying to find your space, not like Control F on a computer.
And with a reference book, it's so nice to be able to have the physical thing that so you can like literally stick a sticky note in it, or if you're one of the people who does that type of thing, like you can get a highlighter or a pencil out and like circle things and make notes in the margins and things like that. So and sometimes, especially on like parenting stuff, if you're not at the age that they're addressing, like I don't need any baby information anymore, so I don't need to take the time to look at it, that sort of thing. Sure. Yeah, no, cool. I very rarely manage to read physical books anymore, which annoys me, but I have something in the way my mind works these days is I really like to be doing something with my hands while I'm consuming media. And so quite often, like with my pottery, I'll be doing a painting on a plate and I'll be on the couch watching like a comfort show, maybe something that I've already seen that I don't have to pay a lot of attention to. I'll have that on in the background. I can't listen to music and read at the same time. I'm not that kind of a person. So there's some kinds of media that don't kind of mix that I can do them at the same time. There's something about an audiobook and doing something maybe artsy with my hands is I'll actually put in an audiobook and go into the garage and be throwing pottery and listening to an audiobook. So I find
love that.
Yeah, a really nice
audiobooks
way to go.
Are very popular in this day and age.
Yes.
I used to use them more when I had a commute. I don't really commute, Americans commuting everywhere. So I didn't really, I would do a lot more audiobooks back then than I do now. But I was going to say too, the thing, like I can't mix verbal things. So if I am writing for work, I can't listen to music that has words in it, because then I will write the words.
That's a little bit of what I was getting
in my writing,
Sure. Yeah,
so
I can't
it has to be
listen
like
to an
one
audiobook
thing has to be non-audio.
Work at my admin job at the same time, because that's too much thinking. And I suppose like, if I'm painting, that is a different type of thinking, but it's not the kind of analytical, like doing a task kind of thinking, I guess. Yeah, it's interesting how brains work like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess because it doesn't tap your you're not using like
Right brain, I
your
think that
audio.
is.
Like you're not speaking or writing words or hearing words, or whatever I'm trying to say. Like you can't, for me, I can't do two of those things at the same time.
Yeah, it's
I
kind of
can't
funny.
be listening to words with music and like giving a speech at the same time. That would totally annoy me. I would suddenly be listening to the words
Yeah, it's funny because for the
of
last
the
sort of like
song.
50 hours or so, I've really binged this like 20-hour audiobook, Demon Copperhead. And most of the time while I was listening, I actually had a habit of playing on my Switch, so on the TV in the living room. So I had the audiobook playing next to me, and I was actually playing Stardew Valley, but I was doing really kind of, are you familiar with Stardew Valley? It's a cozy kind of farming game. So I was doing like
No.
really repetitive remedial tasks. Like I was literally like going into the mines in the game and just like pickaxing rocks and gaining resources. And so I actually had that on mute, and I was listening to the audiobook, and it was this real like zoned out but listening kind
Sorry,
of a
Scott.
yeah. I'm a nerd, so
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
no, you're
It's
fine.
just then the chat pops up too, and I see. I know she's so loud. That's good to know that you can hear them too, because sometimes she sits underneath me when I do hearings on the like I do a lot of Zoom call hearings.
Sure.
Now I know the judge is probably like, what's going on at her office, house, whatever.
Oh, we appreciate
the cat will
dog
walk across
cameos.
the screen.
Any pet cameos we appreciate on this
Yes.
show, so all good. Alrighty, well I might leave it there. It didn't look like
Yeah.
oh yeah, Hen was saying is Ducks on Storygraph. So Storygraph is kind of like a different version of Goodreads that is becoming more and more popular. So yeah, that's what Hen's asking. Hen got me to create a Storygraph because
A Storygraph. I'll have to look into it.
Yeah.
I don't know if my bandwidth for like more social media is probably
sure. No, that makes sense.
low.
If you're well into Goodreads.
I basically consume mostly Discord at this point as my social media. I do some Instagram,
Sure.
but and Goodreads, so that's like my bandwidth.
Fair enough.
Otherwise, it just takes up your whole day.
Yeah, for sure.
But I will definitely look
Probably have
into
too
it.
many. Okay, well, again, thank you very much for joining us. That was a really good chat. That went so quickly, so that must have meant that we had a great time. 2 good games. We each won 1, so that seems fair. The
Yes.
duck off is at 1-1. And
Yay!
yeah, everybody get keen for the Determinator next week. And I'm trying to think who's the week after. I have my phone right here. I can jump to my calendar. Who is after that? Yeah, okay. Well, she does have the option to back out, but the week after that, we've actually squeezed in Peach because Rogue Kestrel had to cancel, but is meaning to rebook at some point. But yeah, it's potentially going to be Peach the week after, which is a lot of fun. She got keen, and she's a good friend of mine, so that'll be a fun time. And yeah, Scott's saying nice to have met you, Ducks, even though it's through the stream, and I'm sure everybody does feel
I'm
that
so
way.
happy to.
Yeah, you had a good time. Perhaps we can do it again sometime. I think
Yes,
I think
definitely.
some guests are going to be reoccurring, so that'll be something to look forward to.
Yeah, I would definitely. Yes,
Excellent.
and we need to do some social games too, where we just all talk.
Yes.
That would be a fun situation.
Yes, I think Deb is pretty keen to do a 3-person stream with Kitty, so I think that's something that's going to happen at some stage, and we'll have a chaos stream with me and Deb and Kitty. So we'll have to see how that goes.
I know, I said it one more. I was like, I should have my sister, but I don't know. Maybe we wouldn't be that interesting together.
Oh no, I'm sure you would. Your sister's so interesting.
You never know.
No, I adore her.
Yeah, she's got a lot going on.
Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. Well, thank you very much. I am going to turn into a pumpkin very soon because it's 2:17 a.m. So I better get to bed.
Yeah, I know.
And I have to
Oh
work
my
tomorrow.
gosh.
So
Well, thank you for doing this at this time.
all good.
You better go to sleep.
There are
Thank you
worse
for
times
having
that
me.
people have
I'm
chosen.
gonna say goodbye and go.
You're like, go.
Oh no. You should. You'll as you go on. You should be more like narrow it down to times.
Oh no, you're being all mother hen.
Good for you.
Like I have to work tomorrow, but I have to work at noon tomorrow, so I still have time to get a good 8 hours.
Oh,
so
that does make it a little bit.
Yeah, no,
better.
I'm chill. It's okay. All right. Yeah, looking forward to the next stream, and thank you very much, Ducks. And yeah, thanks everybody. That was a fun one. All right. Bye everyone.
Bye.
Bye.